Good afternoon. This is Mr. Smith. And if you are watching this video, you probably need a little bit of help with the informative speeches from media assignment. So I'm going to walk you through how to complete it because I'm the one that made the assignment. And I just want to kind of make sure that you understand exactly what myself or Ms. Cleric or Dr. Rodriguez are looking for. So let's take a moment and look at the assignment together. Make sure you read all the instructions carefully, for sure. In this assignment, you will look at 4 different types of informative speeches and looking at what specifically makes them successful. You'll only need to choose one speech for the assignment. I'll go ahead and bold that. So it's really important that you guys only pick one of these speeches. So from our notes, we have established that there are 4 different types of informative speeches. There's the definition speech, which explains the meaning, theory, or philosophy of a specific topic that the audience likely does not know much about. There's also the demonstration speech, which explains how to do something, otherwise known as a how-to speech. We have the explanatory speech, which I know trips up some students, but essentially that is a speech that describes the state of something or explains the state of something. So think of the State of the Union, or if someone was asking you, how are you doing today? And you wanted to write a whole speech full of information about how you were doing, that would be an explanatory speech. And then the last one is a descriptive speech. For all my English lovers, that is creating a vivid picture in the person's mind regarding an object, person, animal, or place. So you have 4 different types of speeches, and you have 4 different speeches you can choose from. For the definition speech, you can watch the clip from the TV show Community. This is from the very first episode, so don't worry about it being a spoiler, I guess. And you can watch it all the way up until the point where he says the word community. You don't have to watch the entire clip. You can if you'd like to. If you want to do the demonstration speech for this assignment, that's going to show you how to make the triple Krabby Supreme from SpongeBob SquarePants. Not the original Krabby Patty. I know that we looked at that one in my class, but I actually use that one for my example. So that is one you can also use. The explanatory speech. This is the state of the truth. That is Prince Zuko talking to his father from the cartoon Avatar: The Last Airbender. Great show. Really, really good. This is from season 3. There are some light spoilers, but also the show's been around for quite some time. So that's a good one. And the last one is the example descriptive speech is going to be the Gettysburg speech from Remember the Titans. So Coach Boone takes them to where they fought the Battle of Gettysburg, and he gives a great descriptive speech that really shows them it doesn't matter if they like each other, but they will respect each other because they're fighting the same fight that they fought during the Civil War. So you're just choosing one of these speeches. Now, once you choose the speech, so for example, I'm going to go ahead and click on the explanatory speech. Okay. So I'll open that up in a new folder. But I'm not going to let it play because I don't want Nickelodeon to copyright the video because they did that last time. No, I'm probably already going to get copyrighted. It's fine. Okay. So you're going to watch the clip. All of these videos have captions on as well, and so you can write down what they say if you need to. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to look at this outline of what makes an informative speech successful. So we talk about, in our notes, we talk about the introduction, having an attention getter, a statement of purpose, the relevance of topic to the audience, and a preview of the body of the speech. Those are the 4 things you want to have in a good introduction. Then we talk about the body of the speech. You have your main point, in this case, 3 main points, and you support that with either a definition, a statistic, or a quotation, and then supporting information around that to kind of really build your case in terms of your informative speech. And then the last thing is you want to summarize the main points, restate your purpose, and round off, which remember, rounding off means ending your speech in a exciting way or an engaging way for your audience. That's your last moment with them, so go ahead and make sure that it's special. So what you are doing, if we look at the instructions, you're going to choose one of the speeches before going to the next page. So choose whichever one you want. And then you will analyze the chosen speech based on the outline learned from our notes. So when it says analyze, you're basically just going to pick parts from the speech. And so, for example, at some point in the clip, Zuko will do an attention getter. When you see the attention getter, you will just write down what that is. Okay. Then you'll go into the statement of purpose. So when you're explaining to your audience why you are there in the first place, the relevance of topic to the audience, why is what they are talking about going to be relevant to their audience? So do they mention that? Preview of the body of the speech. Again, there might not be a preview in whichever speech you end up picking. So let's actually talk about that. If you choose one of these speeches and there's part of it's missing, or there aren't 3 main points, or there isn't something like that, you are allowed to kind of put in what you can find. And if you can really find all the parts in each of these speeches, that's great. But if you can't find it, it's important that you explain why you couldn't find that. But you'll see that in my teacher example that I'm going to show you guys in just a moment. So there's a place for you to write the attention getter, the statement of purpose, the relevance of topic, the preview of the body of the speech, main point 1 with support, main point 2 with support, and main point 3 with support. These 3 boxes should be probably the most writing that you're going to end up doing. Okay, so please make sure that you're actually putting in their 3 main points. But like I said, if there's only 2 or 1 main point, just make sure that you're marking that in your speech. Summary of the main points. This is the conclusion, the restatement of purpose, also part of the conclusion, and then the last statement of the speech, which is rounding off. So the last line of the speech, you're going to type that right here in this last box. And then you have one question based on your notes. Is this an effective informative speech? Why or why not? And you'll explain that in 2 to 5 sentences. So I also have a teacher example if you would like one. Actually, I'm recording it right now. The video is going to go with it. But I will use the Krabby Patty Binging with Babish video. So this is one I showed to my students, but basically it shows them how to make the original Krabby Patty. Really, really good video. And it's an example of a demonstration speech or a demonstrative speech. So it shows them how to do something. So I talked about the attention getter. The speech opens with a clip from SpongeBob SquarePants in the middle of an episode. SpongeBob displays making a Krabby Patty while explicitly shouting ingredients and recipe during his frustration. So that's what the YouTube video does to get the audience's attention. Then we have the statement of purpose, why we're there. The voiceover explains that he is finally going to be making a Krabby Patty on his cooking show. The relevance of topic to the audience. This is relevant because he explains that this was his most requested topic, so he's excited to make so many members of his audience happy. The preview of the body of the speech. He doesn't really preview the body of the speech besides saying we are going to make a Krabby Patty. So again, if you can't find what you're looking for according to the notes in that speech that you chose, then you can just explain this doesn't exist in this speech, I think. But something close to that would be, and then whatever you decide you want to say. So I kind of shortened up the main points 1, 2, and 3, but Babish shows all his ingredients for the Krabby Patty recipe. He then talks about the secret ingredient that exists from the show. He talks about what it could be and what it probably is, which is nothing. Then we have main point 2. Babish begins preparing the Krabby Patty just as SpongeBob would in the show. He walks the audience step by step through each part until he has the finished product. He then tastes it and gives his honest opinion about the food. He likes it, but he thinks it could be better, which takes us to part 3. After the original Krabby Patty, he wants to make an upgraded version of the recipe. He then goes on to explain how to maximize the umami flavor, otherwise known as the savory flavor, with better ingredients. After he finishes, he tries the newer recipe and describes how the flavors work together to create the best version of this burger. So notice that I'm taking what happens in the speech, I'm breaking it up into its individual parts, and I'm plugging them in to where they go in the boxes. Like I said, this is very similar to what we did with the communication models assignment at the beginning of the year. So it should be relatively, at least familiar to you. But like I said, you're just taking parts of the speech and you're plugging it into certain, into the outline. Summary of main points. His conclusion is pretty lacking in the video. He does not summarize his main points, but most demonstrative speeches may take you through the steps without restarting them. So he does not summarize his main points again because it's a step-by-step video. The restatement of the purpose, I have a couple direct quotes here. And there you have it, folks, the Krabby Patty. This burger was delicious. I don't normally eat the entire finished product, but this was too good to stop. He reminds his audience he wanted to demonstrate how to make a Krabby Patty with a twist. And then the last part of his speech was, these burgers will go straight to my thighs, so I shouldn't eat too much so I don't blow up. And so he ends the video with a reference to the episode because that's what happens in actually the Triple Krabby Supreme episode, which is one of the ones you can choose from. And then I write, this was definitely an effective speech. The speaker did a great job of taking his audience step by step through each part of how to create a recipe. How-to speeches have a tendency to go a little fast, but the video is set up in a way that it can be easily understood from the ingredients to the recipe and finally to the upgraded recipe. The conclusion could have used some more reminders for the audience, but it was entertaining from beginning to end. So that's how I did my example. So you guys will do this with one of the 4 speeches you can choose from. So you can choose from Community, SpongeBob, Avatar: The Last Airbender, or Remember the Titans. So take a moment to pick that. This is not going to be due until later on in the week, and this isn't even going to be doing. This isn't even going on this grading cycle. It'll go on the next grading cycle. So take your time with it. You're going to watch the speech and then plug it into the appropriate parts. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.